Hey everybody, how are you? This is Ron with Cattler. Wanted to kind of welcome everybody back to the Cattler webinars. If you guys have noticed, we took a different approach. Instead of doing it every month, the goal is to do it every 2 months now to be able to really compress a lot of new features, give a lot of new space in order to really dig deep into the new features that we've come out. A lot of the times what happens is, we'll come out with features and we'll kind of have them halfway there. But the goal is to kind of bring out fully fleshed features as we go, and that's kind of the name of the game. So again, scenario is the same as always. What is our new in our latest updates? What is in store for the following updates? You guys can know kind of what we're working on and any questions and feedback. All right, so the list is long, so I will kind of name them out, give a small title on top of them, but we're going to be digging deep into each of them. Um, Animal profile treatment edit dosage. One of the things that we changed is that both on the black screen on the chute, as well as on the pen writer section that I will be showing. If you select a dosage and you want to make changes to it, or if you want to on a protocol that you have, so say you want to, the protocol calls for 2 cc's, but you want to give it 4 cc's. Well, now we've made it so that you can either increase, decrease, or also delete the dosage that you have. We've changed completely the ration management side. It has a new UI. Most of you have probably already noticed on it. Why did we do this? Well, we thought it could be improved. We also took advantage and added the possibility of adding water when your ration is on a dry matter percentage. This comes from a lot of our partners down in Latin America, mainly Paraguay, but can also be used for Oklahoma, Texas, in the really really hot months where you want to add water to make the diets a little more palatable. And it's really really big. And what's important is that um, uh, you'll be able to create rations, and the water will not be part of the composition of the ration. They'll just be going outside, and Cattler will calculate according to the dry percentage goal that you're looking for on the ration. It will calculate how much percent, what the percentage of water should be to it as well. And also something that was a lot requested was the possibility of archiving rations as well. We added the yardage per pen, which I'm going to be going into, and it's kind of a big thing because we still have the yardage per lot. So I'm going to explain it in detail because you really want to not be charging double as well. Shoot cattle in that we talked about in previous webinars, the quick shoot, and then also the new shoot section in Cattler. So quick shoot has means the possibility of, if you treat animals in the chute, you can go directly into Cattler, hit quick shoot. It will download all of the animals that you have at the yard if they have a tag or if they don't have a tag, and then be able to directly select it and treat it at the chute, catch a weight, give a temp, put a note, whatever you want. Livestock market value report, also very, very big. We promised it a couple months ago, I think 2 months ago, which was our last webinar in May. It's already out. We're going through. And this is Herdex integration, something that a lot of our members have asked for. Some of our members already have. Kyle, I know you're one of them. Not only being able to use the Herdex tags, but also going to be showing you an in-lab test with the Datamars tags as well. So on the Herdex integration, being able to read from the handheld devices, both with the Herdex tags and then also with the Datamars, with the Herdex as well as with the Datamars. Another the big request was the other labels in the billing and closeouts. What that means is on the lots there was that there were the, you can always add different you can add expenses as other, and they weren't showing up on lots, basically on the closeouts. Now they do appear. So I'll show what it looks like, how it looks like now. One of the things we realized that on the bunk score, both on mobile and on tablet, the save button was always a scroll down beneath. So now what you're going to be able to have, or what you're going to be able to do, is we have the save button is floating. So you can just hit the score and the call, and the save button will be right there. And if you scroll up and down, it will appear. Margin of profit report, a lot of big margin of profit report that has been used by, I know several people that have a lot of what's it called, custom feeders, or just anybody who has a yard, you're going to be able to go off of it by lot, by pen, or even by the whole, by lot, by owner, or by the entire feed yard. You know what your current earnings would be for per head or per group as well. So I'll show that as well, and also being able to click or unclick the shrink option as well. And one last thing that I'm going to be going into is the client user. So if you have if you are a third, if you feed for third parties or people have investments and you have them access, you give them access to the account. As you guys well know, you're able to see only your pens with their head, with the head account that they have. But also if they go into the reports, those reports, the invoice that they can see is only the not detailed report. Before you're able to see the detailed report, and we've changed that as well. That came also from Paraguay. So I'm actually going to start with things that I don't have on the presentation because it's easier to show, which is the animal profile treatment dosage and then the yardage per pen. So these two things I'm going to be showing first. So I'm going to actually get out of here. And if I go to Cattler and I'm on the RJB account, and so as you guys well know, if you go into any group, any lot, and you go into lot fees, yes, you have your yardage here as well, but this yardage is to the entirety of the group that you have. But what we've added is if I go into feed yard infrastructure from pen, now each pen in and of itself has its own yardage. So what this means is, say that this pen has a shade and you're going to be charging, $0.7 per head per day. So what this means is, and it's a fairly common, so I'm not going to go dig too deep into it, is that if you have cattle that are moving from this pen that is inside of a shed, or this one that has a shade, or this one that has nothing, the head days that they are in each of these different pens will add up into their final yardage. But what is important for our members to realize is that if you have a yardage per pen and you also have a yardage for a group in and of itself, these will add up. So be very careful how you decide to use your yardage, because if you have the yardage only on here, it will give them 0.05 just across the board for this group. But if they are also spending time inside of a barn, it will add up to that. It will also add up to the value that how many head days that they spend in that specific pen. That is very important for you to know, because it's something to really dig deep, is that they will add up. The other element that I wanted to realize was the animal profile treatment. So what this means is if I go to the yard sheet or and I select either on the Penwriter app and select the tag, and I go into assigning a treatment, and I have a protocol. I want to give it a receiving, just an example. Well, see, now I can increase the dosage, I can decrease the dosage, I can delete one of them, I can change it all from here as well. Same goes for when you're treating animals inside on the chute side. You can add more than what your protocol or what you already have assigned. So you can add more. You can delete one of them by just clicking down on the specific drug that you have as well. Okay, those were the two big things that I wanted to just. I think it's easier just to show than to have it on the presentation. One of the other elements that we have is on the bunk score. So as we said before, the bunk score used to be a little bit, you had to scroll a bit down. But now if you click on, you'll see that if you go up and down, the save button stays exactly where you want it to be. Go on to the next pen, onto the next pen, and it will stay exactly where you want it to be. So it'll hover across. It won't, you don't have to do anything more. You don't have to scroll any further down. Same goes for the tablet. But it's important to know that this is something that we've addressed, and we think it's pretty cool as well. Secondly, we talked about on the Cattler side. We've talked about the manual entry and the new order. I'm going to be talking now about the cattle in. What's the goal of the cattle in? Well, the goal of the cattle in is as follows. There you go. The goal is to be able to not have to click on the cattle in the cattle management, bring them in, and then process them through the chute. If you're getting a group that you just want to get them straight off the truck and process them and then send them into the pen, you can do that. You're going to be able to assign a lot, create a new lot, give it a name, read anything you want, but then also be able to assign a tag either by a visual tag or using your wand to be able to really read all the animals and upload them as they come in. Assign any treatment, anything that you would give them as they're coming through. This is another of the big elements. It's the margin of profit report that we were talking about. So the margin of profit report, this is a livestock value report. Something that was very big that was requested by a lot of our members had to do with if I needed to present financial information to the bank. So Cattler is helping with that. You are able to now create your own livestock market value report to be able to present to the bank. And this is just an example. It's not real, but you put in the lowest weight, you put in the highest weight, you put in the different dollar per hundredweight. And then as you do this, you're able to then create a report in real time and then download it and be able to then download it and print it and send it off to your bank as you would go. So you click on that, and then as you go, I'll let the video continue by itself. You can add as many rows as you want, as many weights, be what it is. And then boom, you create the report. It will drag all the information that you have directly into a printable report, being able to know, okay, what's my dollar per hundredweight, what's my total value, and then being able to download it into a PDF version as well. So just so that you know, this is something that is an add-on onto Cattler, the livestock market report, and it's something that is being used quite widely spread across a lot of our members. Another one of the elements that we talked about was the other detail. So as you guys remember, I might, take a step back, and if I go into the cattle management report, if I go directly onto the cattle management, and if I hit on the expenses and I hit add and I select other, before it would just all compound under other. There was no detail. Well, we listened and we made the change. What did we do? Now, if you see here, it will say, for instance, mineral tub. $150 per head, $3. How many? It was, I think, $150 per one, and it would give you the cost for the total amount, basically. So it gives you whatever you decided to put down. This is RJB. Let me see what it looked like on the. If I go to here, but now you'll have a detail of each and every one of these as you go down. So this is the one, for instance. If I go into here, and if I hit on entries, there you go. No, expenses. There you go. Mineral tub, 150 head, total cost, so on and so forth. So this is what you're seeing now. This is what we've changed on here as well. Other quantity, 150 head, 3.33 per head. What's the total cost? Perfect. This is something that's quite big, and it has to do with the UHF Herdex integration with tags. What's important to note, this video, again, this is a lab video. What I'm trying to say is the goal is just to show how it works. It's not to, be real. This is in the office. So you go into the tag, you connect it, you turn it on. You cancel, and then as you see here, you have 3 tags: Herdex tag, Datamars tag, another Herdex tag. And there you go. It brings up all the 3 different tags that you have, and it's instantaneous basically. So as of now, I think we are still running, and we will run again next week a promo with the people from Herdex, who are looking to just share more about the UHF world. But this is already going. This is already working, and just want to share it with you guys again. Go to the tag button, you turn it on. It connects. That's a bug on their end. 3 different tags, pulling them up, and you just go from there. I believe, let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Animal profile. Oh, the ration management. I don't think I showed that. I'll show that now. Yardage per pen, we did that. Shoot cattle in, life support report, other, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I forgot to show the new ration management. So if you look at this, boom, new ration management, completely new. Being able to archive rations that you're not using. A lot of people ask us to be able to do this. There you go. Archive rations. I don't know why this happens. So I can archive a ration. I can't do it because it's being used. But if I were to unarchive a ration, it would go back up here, hit the archive button. It would bring it down here. So you can keep all your rations. If you have to make a small change for what it is, you can do that as well. But now what's important is that on here, we've changed a lot of how the look and feel. And like I said before, if you're on ASFED, the added water is not here. So what you want to do is, if you hit the dry percentage 58 and you want to hit a target that's lower than that, let's say it's 50, or let's say it's 55, Cattler will adjust the percentage of water that you're looking for. And this is really important. So if I hit save, and I'm not going to recalculate, I'm going to go now into my load and drop and go into my order number 4 for the day. I might have to delete an order. Do I have? Yeah, I do have. I load and drop order. I'm going to go and hit number 4. So you see how water is a separate ingredient here. That wasn't on the last one. I have 3 pens. Confirm. I'm going to do all the delivery ones. Confirm. And there we go. Water is a separate ingredient that goes in correlation with the 6% that we talked about before. So all of these stay the same. If I hit save, when Apple does this. So once you, I don't even know Apple does this. Well, if I were to go back to the ration management, and I would go on 4, the water would be 6%, which is what we have up on here, basically. So when you go onto the black screen to load and drop, the water would show up as a new separate ingredient. So it's just quite a big deal. Something that was a lot more complex than we realized, and go from there. What does the normalize button do? We've gotten that question as well. So what it does is that if you are, say that you have 35% and you're off by a little bit, if you hit the normalize button, it will readjust according to the percentages that you have, basically. So that's what the normalize button is there for. I think that's about it on the new elements. I think that what's in store now is to be able to share a little bit on what's coming down the pipeline. The Comco integration is actually a done deal at this point. This is actually, as of today, it's a done deal. We've done the testing. We've gotten that sorted. Animal Health 2.0, which I'll show some screens. Ration management upgrades, so micro rations and transformation. What this means is you're going to be able to create your own micro rations from the ingredients that you have in your own, from your own supplies. Be able to create your own micro rations, or being able to transform ingredients. What that means is, say that you have 3 different hays and you want to create a new hay, or you have different ingredients that you want to create into a new ingredient in and of itself. You have some prairie hay, you have some other hay, and then you have some alfalfa, and you want to create a new ingredient, you're going to be able to do that as well, and it'll start to discount from both sides how much you've actually used, and it will impact your supplies as well. And this is from the new animal health that we're creating right now. The goal on this side is to be able to create be a little bit more data driven on the animal health side, being able to have a little bit more information up front for you to be able to see, pull out program treatments, any deaths, more analytics as you go across, being able to go by lot, so this is all being made as we go, being able to diagnose and prescribe. So the goal is to make this much, much more analytical driven. And that's kind of the goal on that end. We're really excited about that. We should be coming out with it's going to be coming out in stages. So it's not going to be one block. It's going to be coming out. And we hope to start coming out with that in the first weeks of August. I think that's about it. I want to know if there are any questions, anything that I can answer, anything that you guys think that we should be, working on. Just curious. If there are no more questions, we could just leave it at that. Miguel is working on creating the videos, the how-to videos that you'll see on your alert section that go a little bit more in depth to what I talked about today. So we have a lot of features, and sometimes they can be a little bit overwhelming. So we'll leave those videos up there. You can always find them on YouTube as well, or just ask us. We're always open for questions and going along those lines. I think we have a question. Cost by pen. Ryan, when you talk about cost by pen, are you talking about a yardage per pen? Because the yardage per pen, I think I went through it. Let me share my screen. If I go to
Yeah, hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry, I'm at the minute, but no, I caught the bit about the yardage by pen, but let's say I've got two different lots in one pen and I want to put bedding in there. Is there the possibility of making a way to add a cost to that pen that gets distributed to all the animals in there, even if they're in a separate lot?
So I think I know where you're going with this. If you go directly to if you have two lots in there, or as many as you have, and you're putting some bedding. I'm trying to think
So, because right now I have to go to each lot and add essentially
yeah, I
their
know
ratio of
the ratio of bedding. Yeah, I know what you mean by that, because if I go into here, if I go to expenses, you have to go into both of them.
divided
Yeah,
out to each animal that's in there.
yeah, I think that's something that if I'm not mistaken is on the docket, because I know we've talked about it. Now that we have the yardage per pen, we would also be able to add a cost to the pen as well. So I know that being able to do this, we will be able to unlock that as well. So yeah, that's a good point. I know that it's coming down the pipeline.
Okay. Yep. No, like all that stuff you showed looked awesome, and that's just kind of what made me think of it. So
You bet, Ryan. All right, I think we'll leave it at that. As we said, we'll see you guys in 2 months, and there's a lot of updates. So please be aware of the alert section. We'll have a lot of the information on there for you guys to be able to really see what's new and kind of a little bit slower pace, and for you guys to really look into it. We're really excited about it, and yeah, we're just continuing to grow. I appreciate everybody's time and wish everybody a good evening. Goodbye.